Now, Donna Douglas in the chat asked about the difference between a consent search and a search pursuant to a search warrant. And I just want to address that really quick. Willis gave a consent to search. I don't know if he gave consent to search the whole entire house or maybe just the kitchen. But when you do consent to a search, you could limit that consent. But then the police went back and they got a search warrant from a judge, which would allow them to do a much greater search. So if Willis had actually tried to limit the police ability to search the home, the police can then circumvent that by going to a judge and getting a more expansive search warrant. But in court, they're both considered the same. If they're both reasonable under the Fourth Amendment, then whatever found in the consent search would be admissible as evidence against somebody, and whatever was found pursuant to a search warrant would be admissible in court to either convict someone or exonerate someone. So it was a great question by Donna Douglas. Thank you very much. I love those kind of questions. But
Mike, as a homicide sergeant, as one who's been to hundreds of homicide scenes, thousands of crime scenes, I wouldn't be comfortable with a consent search on a case this serious. And I would wait. I would absolutely wait. Have the crime scene, or what we consider to be the crime scene, in this case, the home, secured so no one can go in and out. And I would await the search warrant, because down the road, a clever defense attorney can get the consent search thrown out, being that, hey, number one, my client was in a drug-induced stupor. How could he
knowingly and willingly done?
Exactly. How could he give permission?
Right.
I challenged that. He had X amount of drugs in his system.
Good point.
I challenged the consent search. So I would not have been comfortable in this incidence with a consent search, and I would have waited. And a lot of times, like the police, and it's not being lazy. It's, if you can cut to the chase, you can also call the district attorney, go say, listen, he's willing to sign a consent search. Can we go with that? And the district attorney may say, what's his condition? Well, he seems a little, no, let's go with the search warrant. And I think that would have been the way to go in this situation. So I don't know if they found anything on the consent search.
Right.
They did go back the next day with a search warrant. What was recovered then? So if they did recover drugs in the search warrant, how do we determine whose drugs they were? What if they were inside of Jordan's? People are talking about backpacks here, something belonging to Jordan. Does that mean 100% that it's his? Again, a slippery slope here. And what they're trying to find out in order to charge someone criminally here is who supplied the drugs. And we spoke yesterday about street drugs frequently are put in packaging that identifies the seller. So if they can recover that or see the packaging and get the dealer that sold it to them. But again, look how far removed this is from this case. So we talk about, is it criminal? That remains to be seen.
Right.
Is it civil? Are they going to try to now sue Jordan over this? Is that that's what they're talking. The media certainly is talking about that. Is this criminal or is this civil?
I mean, it's possible that Jordan Willis could be sued for negligence. It's possible, and they could get a judgment against him, but that would be far into the future. And A, nothing's going to bring back your loved ones. B, he depending on how much money he has, whatever, maybe he had some sort of insurance, renter's insurance that might cover something like this. I doubt it. That would be a long term in the future, but you'd have to prove that he had a duty, he breached it, and he caused their deaths. It's possible, but what's the payoff possibly at the end? Is it going to be, he's got $10,000 to his name? Is he wealthy or not? How much money can you get from an insurance company? All those factors will come into play in any sort of, attorney deciding whether or not they're going to sue. One of the families going to sue for negligent homicide, sue for negligence causing a homicide.
Absolutely.